Hey, what's up everybody? Today I am talking about drum mics and showcasing 3 different levels of mics in a shootout. We've got the super budget level at 150, we've got the mid-level pro grade at 1,000, and then we have the high-end ultimate drum mic if you have the budget of $3,000. Now, what today is all about is showcasing the differences between those microphones and what you get at those different price points. I'm not suggesting that you can't get an awesome sound with $150 drum mics. I'm not suggesting that you have to spend $3,000 to get the best sound. That's what today's video is about. What I am suggesting is I want you to be able to kind of hear the differences, experience 3 different levels of mics, and experience 2 sets of microphones that I am really excited about. Now, if you've watched my videos, you see me using Earthworks mics all the time. I love Earthworks mics, their transparency, their clarity, it's incredible. But at the end of the day, as I told Earthworks when I started using them, not everybody has the budget to buy a $3,000 set of drum mics. And so I like to be able to talk about more budget-friendly options and showcase other great mics. And so I also have the new Lewitt Beat Kit Pro in the studio today, and that's going to be our $1,000 level. It comes with 7 microphones, just like the DK7 from Earthworks, and I think it's going to be a really, really cool day. So let's get started. Now, the $150 budget level drum mics are about as budget as you can get, especially if you're going to mic up a whole kit. Typically, a budget level set of drum mics is like $200 or $300 at least if you're going to mic the whole kit. What we have here are these, they say digital reference on them. This is the DRST100 for snare and toms. We've got 3 of those. And then this is the digital reference DRK100 for the kick drum. We've got 1 of those. And so those all come in a single pack for about $100. And then we've added on these Behringer C4 overheads, which I got for like $50 for this video. And so all in around $150, just depends on where you buy them and, you know, sale prices and things like that. But yeah, we're gonna mic up the snare drum and the rack toms with 2 of these. I am using a technique where you put the rack tom mic in the middle of 2 toms, since we only have 3 of these microphones in the set. It does not come with 7 mics, it comes with 4, and then the 2 overheads makes it 6. And so we're going to see what happens with these microphones. And as always, leave comments and questions down below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Let's go. Alright, so as expected with budget level mics, you do not get the same level of tone, the same level of clarity, the same level of transparency that a higher end mic gets. But the thing with budget microphones is that if you do not have the budget for the higher level mics that make your life easier, you can take those mics and get a pretty good sound with post-production. And that's really the key to a super cheap microphone, is your post-production. No, the Shure SM57 is not the clearest, best microphone on the entire planet for the snare drum, but there are so many people who get excellent snare drum tones with an SM57. And so that's the point I'm trying to make here, is that if you are on a budget, if you do not have $1,000 to spend on drum mics, you do not have $3,000 to spend on drum mics, it is okay to get something more affordable and give it a shot, and then go into post-production and really work on your post-production skills to make those mics sound the best they can. At the end of the day, a lot of content creation, a lot of recording is really just figuring out how to make do with what you have. And so I hope you've enjoyed the $150 level. Let's jump up to the $1,000 level with the Lewitt Beat Kit Pro. All right, so at the $1,000 level, we have a set of 7 drum mics, which includes 3 tom mics, a snare drum mic, a kick drum mic, and 2 overheads. So everything you need for a 5-piece kit, that comes in the Lewitt Beat Kit Pro. And this is a $1,000 set of microphones. You can get them at Sweetwater, link is in the description. What's cool about a setup like this is that it's clearly not the budget 7-piece mic kit. It comes in a really nice hard case. It is presented well. They are obviously mics that have great construction and great sound to them. You know that before you even get them out of the box because of how well it's done. Also, Lewitt Audio is very highly regarded and respected, and so I was really excited to check these out to see what kind of sounds we can get from them. I was also really intrigued because these microphones have some unique options alongside them. The first mic I want to talk about, because it is by far the most interesting one, is the Lewitt kick mic. This is the DTP 640 REX. And if you see here, you've got a few different options on the front for different pads, and then on the left-hand side, it's got this equals equals, plus equals, plus plus. And basically, what this microphone is, when paired with this cable that comes with it, this kick mic is actually 2 microphones inside of 1 microphone. And what makes that really unique is it is a dynamic and a condenser. So dynamic and condenser microphones are quite different. The way they operate is quite different. Most drum mics are dynamic. Earthworks mics are exclusively condenser style. And the condenser style is very quick, it's very accurate, it's very transparent, and that's what's really unique about this kick mic is you get the dynamic, which is typically the easier microphone to work with, especially as a newer audio engineer. A condenser microphone can add some different complications or different difficulties. I wouldn't say that's the case with the Earthworks because they are just engineered so well, but a condenser microphone on drums is oftentimes more difficult to deal with, especially close up on a drum. But this mic has both in here, and it is really, really spectacular because combining those 2 microphones into one makes the phase something you don't deal with. When you have 2 kick microphones, a lot of times you're dealing with phase issues. Because they are both mounted perfectly in here in phase, you have 0 phase issues. And what it does is it allows you to have 2 different sound options to combine together. A lot of times I'm using a kick mic plus a sub kick, and that allows me to get an even better tone on the drums. This microphone isn't a sub kick, but it is a dynamic and a condenser mic, and so I thought that was really special. Very excited to show you how that sounds. We've also got the LCT 140 Air condenser microphone. There are 2 of them in the set, has 3 options on here. You've got a sound option, basically an EQ, you've got a filter option, and you've got a pad option, which that's a lot of options for a more affordable microphone. The pair of these is only $300, and I used them in some budget videos showing people how to create budget level videos recently, and they are fantastic for $300. You also get the MTP 440DM, and this is for your snare drum. Looks kind of like an SM57 style, almost like if a SM57 and an SM58 had a baby. Yeah, so that's your snare mic. And then your tom mics are the DTP 340 TT. Easily mounted, you can see one here, comes with a clip on the drum. I will say that is the toughest clip I've ever used in my life to get on a drum, but it will not fall off, so that is a huge bonus to it. But yeah, so you get 3 of these for your 3 toms. Let's hear them. All right, so after trying out the Lewitt Beat Kit Pro, I was actually very, very impressed. Not to say I wasn't expecting it because Lewitt Audio is highly regarded, but you know, I'm so used to these Earthworks mics, I'm so used to how awesome they are that to be impressed with something else, really impressed with something else, sometimes that's a little surprising because I'm so used to everything that the Earthworks mics are. And so I will say that 2 microphone kick mic is so fantastic because blending those 2 sounds, having it all in phase, having it in that one kick microphone position is really, really great. And the cool thing about it is most preamps that you get for recording drums have 8 mic inputs, and most drum mic sets only have 7 mics, so you always have 1 extra mic. When you use the kick with both microphones engaged, you're using all 8 channels and getting to completely utilize the setup that you have. Also, like I said before, very impressed with the LCT 140 Air condenser microphones. I think that they sound really, really great. In fact, I was impressed using them without the other drum mics on their own. The snare mic is great. The tom mics are great. I mean, overall, it's a great package of mics. I think my personal opinion on what this $1,000 package gets you is it gets you a produced tone. And what I mean by that is what I'm used to with the Earthworks microphones is very, very transparent clarity. And I think what you hear is what you get through the Earthworks microphone. So if your drums sound really, really good, you just get really, really good drum sound through Earthworks mics. These have a little bit more of a produced tone to them. They have a little bit more of character, I would say. Less extreme transparency, more character. So, and that's the same with a lot of drum mics on the market. A lot of mics that you're going to get have specific sounds, which is why people pick specific microphones for specific sounds. I would say these Lewitt mics have great character. I would say that they have a great sound on the drums. And of course, you know, this video is all about your opinion and not necessarily as much about my opinion. But I will say that combine the features of this microphone, the kick mic, the condenser microphones, and the options and the tones that you get, it is a very, very great set of mics for $1,000, and I would gladly use them again and produce a lot of great stuff with them. So I will say that Lewitt Audio has impressed me with the Beat Kit Pro. But now let's check out the $3,000 microphones with the Earthworks DK7. All right, so the Earthworks setup is a DK7. That's the package that they sell as a 7 mic setup. It comes with 4 of the DM20s. This tom mic, absolutely phenomenal. I mean, prior to this shootout, I already have so much experience with Earthworks mics. I can talk about them before or after the sound, but the sound examples are for you to be able to hear what you're getting. The thing about Earthworks, as I've mentioned already in this video, is transparency, clarity. The quickness of the condenser allows the note to not get muddied up by the next note. So if you're playing very fast, articulate drumming, or guitar or whatever it is you're using, but for this video we're doing drum mics. The condenser style is so fast, it is lightning quick, it allows you to get all of the clarity of the articulation and the attack of every note. And so that is something that I've always really loved and really noticed about the Earthworks mics. The gooseneck is awesome for placement, and they have great rejection on the microphone itself, so you're able to put it in a position that rejects the cymbals really well and just captures that tone. You also get a pair of SR25 overheads. These are very, very clear overheads, but they're also a very multi-use microphone. You can record vocals, you can record guitars, you can record all sorts of different things on these, which I would say is the same with the Lewitt overheads as well. They are mics you can use for a lot. I used the Lewitt mics for a talking video the other day, just boomed over me. And the SR25s provide a ton of clarity and really just transparency in the overall mix. And lastly, we have the SR20LS on the kick drum. So you get your 4 DM20s, you get your kick mic, the SR20LS, and you get your 2 SR25 overheads in the DK7 setup. The SR20LS is basically a longer version of an SR25 that has been created with frequencies and crossovers inside of it that make it better for kick drums, for like bass cabs and things that produce low frequencies. The SR20LS is once again a very transparent microphone, and so you really have to get the kick drum to sound good in order for this microphone to sound its best. If your kick drum sounds bad, this mic is probably going to tell you that your kick drum sounds bad. So let's hear the Earthworks DK7 setup, the $3,000 microphones, and let you decide if you got $3,000 to spend on mics, are you going Earthworks DK7? Let's go. All right, so you've heard the DK7 setup now. You've heard the $3,000 microphones. It's up to you to decide what you feel about that. For me, what I do feel is that if you have the budget for $3,000 in microphones, I believe the Earthworks DK7 set is worth every penny. Now, it is a very different type of microphone overall than the Lewitt Beatkit Pro and then the budget level microphones. These mics are designed for transparency, they're designed for clarity, they're designed for quickness. They are not designed to enhance the character of the drums. They are not designed to provide any sort of additional tone or sound to the drums. They're there to provide the sound of your drums. And so that's something that you also have to decide for yourself what you're looking for. If you're looking for a specific character in your drum microphones, I wouldn't say the Earthworks mics are those microphones. What I would say is if you love the sound of your drums and you have $3,000 to spend, then you're going to love the Earthworks mic setup. And if you listen back to the tracks, I do believe that Earthworks provides the most clarity, the most transparency, the most overall unfiltered tone of what these Pearl reference drums actually sound like. I will say that, as I mentioned before, the SR20LS, if there was one microphone in the DK7 or in Earthworks lineup that I have a little trouble with, it would be the SR20LS. And reason being is it is very transparent and a little bit less easy to get exactly the sound you're looking from out of your kick drum if your kick drum does not sound exactly the way you want. Sometimes you have to aim it a little bit differently on the inside to pick up more of the low end. Sometimes you have to move it around a little bit to deal with the way the air comes in and out of the porthole. The SR20LS is the only microphone in the DK7 kit that I wouldn't be like, doesn't matter how good you are at mixing, like this mic is going to be easier for you. I will say that if I was pitting the SR20LS versus this Lewitt kick drum microphone, this one is easier because you get the two different sounds. You get the dynamic and you get the condenser mic, and it's hard to beat that. It's hard to beat having two different perfectly in phase tones that you can blend together, that you can EQ, that you can put different compressions and different post-production on to make it sound exactly the way you want. And I think this microphone is more forgiving, which if you are not a high-end audio engineer, or if you're not someone who has a lot of experience in the audio engineering world, most likely you're also not someone who's going to spend $3,000 on microphones. And so, as I told Earthworks when I was like, hey, I'll gladly be an artist for you guys because I love your microphones, I also really have to respect the fact that not everybody can spend $3,000 on mics, and some people may need to spend less than that. And so that's what today's video was about. I wanted to show you that whether you have budget mics, whether you have $1,000 that you can spend and get some really great microphones, or if the sky's the limit and you have $3,000 for a set of drum mics, there are great options out there. And the cool thing about that is being able to listen back to these tracks, hear them side by side, and really compare what it is that you're looking for compared to the budget that you have. I hope this video has been helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, leave comments, questions down below if you have any, and I will also link these different microphones as best as I can find the budget ones, but also the Lewitt BeatKit Pro and the Earthworks DK7 down in the description, so you can go check them out over at my friends at Sweetwater. Best customer service, best place, in my opinion, to buy these mics. And when you click on an affiliate link and make a purchase, you are supporting my channel, which is really awesome as well. So thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome day. Happy drumming, happy recording.